Okay, so this is the first of 2 lessons that I'm putting out this week. Both basically the same style. This is some blues licks in the key of C. The lesson I'm showing today is more intermediate level lesson, and the one I'm doing in a couple days is a little bit more advanced. I'm going to try doing this for the next couple of lessons that I have. I'm going to try and do a lesson for beginner level players, some intermediate, and some more advanced level players, so we kind of get something out there for every level of player. As always, the black belt version of this lesson is now on my site, so you can get that whole solo at the beginning in an interactive video. You can loop sections, you can slow down the speed, get the backing track. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my site, guitarlickdojo.com, and try the black belt membership free for 7 days. So definitely check that out if you're interested. In this lesson, I'm going to go over a few of the best licks from that solo you just saw, and dive into them in quite a bit of detail, talk about some of the techniques I'm using, and give you some ideas about how you can take this lick and apply it to your own playing. So let's get into the licks. Here is the first lick. So there's the first lick. We're playing in the key of C, so this is a C minor pentatonic style lick. And I want to break this lick into a couple different sections here. Basically where the lick splits at the bar, I'm going to treat that as basically 2 separate licks, 2 kind of distinct ideas. So the first part of the lick is this right here. Now, one thing I want to mention with this lick and all the licks that I show in this lesson, I don't pay attention so much to the timing. You don't need to get the timing absolutely perfect. What I would do is take the lick and take away the parts of it that you like, and then adjust the phrasing, the timing to fit what you're playing over, and to adjust the timing to fit into other licks. So just that first part right there, you can take little variations of that lick, speed it up parts, slow parts down, and make a more flexible lick out of it. Maybe I play it like that. Throw a little extra bend in there. Pretty stock blues lick, but the point is to tweak it and adjust it to fit what you're playing over. But in any case, that is the first part of the lick right there. Now the second lick here is starting down on the 8th fret on the 2nd string. You go 8, 10 on the 3rd, then 11 on the 2nd. And then you do this bend up, pull off thing, bending up on the 10th. Bend back down, pull off to the 8. Then 10 on the 4th string, and then 10, 8 on the 3rd string. Slide back down. So let's play through that one. So again, treat this as 2 separate licks. I would probably practice the first one and just work on that for a while. Try and play it in over a 12-bar blues at different points in the 12-bar blues, and experiment with it. Experiment with different rhythms, different patterns, different slightly different variations. Something like that. Just changed a couple notes, threw a little hammer on, pull off in some places. It's still the basic same lick. It's the same basic idea. I'm just taking that idea and expanding upon it, which is really what you should do with all your licks, is take one simple piece of it, get that down, and then once that's in your repertoire and you have that lick down, you can just throw a note here, there in it, and it becomes a new lick. So something like that. And then the second part of the lick, same thing. Maybe I do something like this. Just taking that basic idea of the lick and then expanding upon it. So again, don't be caged into the lick you're seeing on the screen here. Learn it and then tweak it, make it your own, and fit it into your own playing. So that's it for the first lick. Let's play through it one more time at a slow speed. So there is the second lick. Now this one is also using the C minor pentatonic scale, and in this one the basic idea here is we're moving up through a couple positions. So we're moving in from this position, that position of the C minor scale, and we're sliding up one position up. So we're kind of moving diagonally across the fretboard. So let's break it down. There's the first part of the lick in that kind of home C minor pentatonic position. Now here comes the position switch, shift, sliding up 10 to 12. I can slide up with my third finger, and then on the 11th fret, when I get to the second string, I can switch to my index finger. So and I want to land on that finger there because the next fret is the 13th on the second string, then the 11th on the first string. So I want to when I go up to that transition, I want to make sure that I get up to the 11th fret with my index finger, because that's going to allow me to more easily play up in this position. If I played with like the first finger or the index finger, or I could do it with the second finger, but you don't want to land on the 11th fret on your second finger. Then it becomes awkward to play up there, right? So you don't want to land on the second, your middle finger, when you get up to the 11th fret on the second string. You want that to be in the first finger. Then it's really easy to do whatever you want to up here. So pretty basic, easy lick, but a cool idea, just moving up diagonal up the fretboard. So that's it. Again, take these licks, tweak them, take parts that you like out of the lick, try and make your own licks out of it. Don't feel like you need to stick to exactly the way it's written on the screen here. So that's it. Let's play through this lick one more time at a slow speed. Licks. I play licks like this all over the place and cover them a lot in my lessons. This is the kind of lick that is kind of reminiscent of Eric Johnson or Joe Bonamassa, where they have these pentatonic licks that kind of fall over each other. A sequence style lick, right, where you go down some notes and then go back up the scale and come back down and kind of repeat that pattern. This one's pretty easy as far as those licks go. So If you're a beginner or intermediate player, you should be able to pick this one up. This is if you like that style of lick, this is a really good lick to start out, to get the picking pattern down and to get the basic speed mechanics down that you need to play through this type of stuff. So let's go through it. So first, again, we're C minor pentatonic, home position scale here. So 8th fret on the first string, 11, 8 on the second string. I'm starting with an upstroke. You can pick both those notes. If your pick hand isn't quite there yet, there's no shame in pulling off 11, 8. You can do that too. Just make it sound clean and in time. Now we get to the fun part of the lick, and we start off this next part with a pull off 11, 8. 11 on the second string with a downstroke. Upstroke on the 8 on the first string. And then pull off 11, 8 on the second string. And I'll stop there for a second and talk about that. So also, I don't know if I mentioned in the first note there, in that little sequence, the 11 on the first string, you can do that with an upstroke. That little sequence right there is a great little sequence. If you can't play through this whole lick, if you're a beginner level player, just that little 5-note sequence, or 6-note sequence rather, is a really powerful little sequence and great for building technique in your left and right hand. If you're having trouble with the lick overall, that's a great piece of the lick to practice. Practice that section, get that part down before you move on to the next 5 notes in the pattern, which are a little bit trickier because the picking pattern's a little bit different. You can take that pattern right there and move down the entire C minor scale with that one little pattern, like this. The same 6-note pattern, I'm just moving down to every 2 sets of strings throughout the C minor scale. So if you could speed that up. Great exercise for playing through the scale and playing that lick throughout the entirety of the scale. So again, back to the point I've been making throughout this lesson. You can take little pieces of these licks that you like, that you're comfortable with, and expand that into much, much bigger things. So that's it. That's the lick. The next part, starting on the 10th fret on the 3rd string, downstroke there, and I'm also going to do a downstroke on the 11th fret on the 2nd string when I come back up and pull off to the 8th. So it's like this. This isn't an incredibly fast lick, so you could get away with doing a downstroke on the 10th fret and then an upstroke when you get to the 2nd string. But I prefer to do the economy pick. If you get that economy pick down there, what that is going to allow you to do is to be able to play this lick at much, much faster speeds. So I would practice getting that down. Downstroke, downstroke on the 10 and 11. Then finally pull off 10, 8 on the 3rd. So that whole section, I'm going to play that whole section starting at the pull off on the 11th fret on the 1st string rather. Sounds like this. And then finally we land on the 10 on the 4th string, the C note. And then on the 8th fret on the third string, the minor third of C. Very strong with that C minor chord. And that's it. So that's the whole lick. Let's play through it once more at a slow speed.